We just got some more news coming out of Oppo, and it looks like OnePlus's future is starting to look real grim. Hello friends, Nathan B Tech here. We're back here for another video. As we did talk about in our last video, so not too long ago, we did talk about, the cancellation of the OnePlus Open 2. And now we are getting some more news coming straight from the boardrooms of Oppo that we might not have OnePlus as a sub-brand company anymore going forward. All of this really stems from this one website. I'm not sure about this website. I've never been on this website myself personally. But headline of this article is OnePlus is being dismantled. Obviously, that's where most of this attention got picked up very quickly. So kind of going into it, obviously we did talk about the OnePlus Open Fold that got canceled just literally last week, and we said that was very unfortunate for OnePlus. It just wasn't financially smart for them to keep that going on. Just to kind of go over it, some of this does look very AI-y, so kind of take it with a grain of salt. And we don't know anything confirmed just yet. But just to go over it, OnePlus, as you know, it is over. The brand is being dismantled, wound down, and put on life support until it honors its remaining commitment. Kind of very negative right here. I'm just going to skip that. Premium Stronghold that collapsed almost overnight. Open 2 foldable and the 15S compact flagship have both been scrapped. Neither will launch as planned. And every major decision now flows from China. 2 weeks ago, Oppo did this to Realme. So just to summarize, Oppo is kind of slimming down their category. They're trying to be a little bit more lean with their sub-brands. Obviously, Oppo is a giant house, and arguably they don't really need, Realme or OnePlus. I could beg to differ with OnePlus just because they're the only Chinese brand that's been able to enter America and actually do somewhat well. Obviously not to the lengths of like Motorola, Samsung, or Apple, but they've managed to break in, which already is a huge thing in the United States, especially as a Chinese brand. So like I said, take this with a grain of salt because this is a very unique situation that OnePlus has managed to get through. And I think for that very reason, we might not see the end of OnePlus just because of how unique that situation is, at least in the States. OnePlus shipments have dropped more than 20% in 2024 from roughly 17 million units to somewhere between 13 and 14. Parent company Oppo Group grew about 2.8% in the same period. Growth has been driven entirely by Oppo's brand. OnePlus wasn't just underperforming, OnePlus was dragging them down. Maybe this is good because it does mean that there is room for potential. If Oppo is still growing, they can still kind of put a little bit of revenue into OnePlus and hopefully things go well. But like I said, it's not looking good for OnePlus, to summarize it. I like this tweet right here from this gentleman named Alvin. It's very hard to watch the companies that slogan is never settle actually starting to settle. Very unfortunate. Obviously, we don't know how credible this article is and this website is, and obviously we can take that with a grain of salt. But if you also just look back at things, it still looks very grim for OnePlus. Just for example, we talked about the Open 2 Fold, right? But we've also had, Oxygen OS being dismantled and kind of combined with Color OS. And one of the things people really loved about OnePlus was Oxygen OS. And if you look at the OnePlus 15s, they still do say Oxygen OS on it. But over the years, I mean, they still say Oxygen OS on it. Camera's not focusing. But over the years, it's been less and less like Oxygen OS and more like Color OS, the Oppo's counterpart. That's already had a lot of backlash. It's already, even in my review, I called it an iOS clone, and that was my only downside about the OnePlus 15, really. But to go to OnePlus 15 as well, that one had a terrible launch in the United States, which is, like we said, arguably probably the only reason that Oppo will keep OnePlus around. It just happened to be like worst luck ever. When OnePlus was releasing their OnePlus 15 series, not only is it already hard for them to release these phones because it has to be website exclusive because of all the things going on between the US and China, but to just add fuel to the fire, that right when they were releasing their phone is also when we had the government shut down. Therefore, it was one of the longest government shutdowns ever, I don't know the exact time, but it delayed OnePlus's launch easily by 2 weeks, and then shipments did have to finally come out, so you could say 3 to 4 weeks. And I think it killed a lot of momentum. You know, people were watching these videos and then they forgot about the phone and they never even able to order the phone. And at this point, we're already pushing S26 series territory. And maybe people are just holding on to their money to see what Samsung has to offer. And as we know, Samsung is going to offer a lot of promotions for the launch day. So it's just, you know, one thing after another, with the Oxygen, with the cancellations of the Open 2 and now the 15S from the looks of it. And then from the looks of it, it looks like OnePlus's CEO has got a warrant for his arrest due to something regarding Taiwan and China, which are two things you don't want in the same sentence, obviously. So not only are we financially doing well, like doing bad, but we are also politically doing bad, and now we are publicly doing bad. So it's just, everything is on fire right now. It's like that meme with the dang dog sitting at the table and he's saying this is fine. Right now, it looks like we don't know the future of OnePlus, and it's probably going to get very quiet for OnePlus going forward. So I'm curious to see where things will take us. Maybe we're just going to focus strictly on, I don't even know if we're going to have a Nord series. I don't even know if OnePlus is going to even do that. Which ultimately, I think it does negatively impact Android a little bit, just because there's less competition, especially in the States. Like I said, this was one company that was giving Samsung a run for their money. You know, the flagship killer, the one and only, the never settle company. And now we are just in the dark. Like I said, I don't know. I think Oppo is in a very particular situation with OnePlus, where it's very popular in America, but also in the Indian market. And we did have a confirmation with OnePlus India saying that nothing's changing in OnePlus India. If things do happen to go south with OnePlus, we are losing that company, right? And that would be very unfortunate, but on the bright side, I think even if we do end up losing OnePlus, you know, the reason OnePlus got super successful and as amazing as it was Carl Pei. Carl Pei kind of kickstarted OnePlus in the early years, and they had the invite system and things were doing really well. Once Oppo kind of put its hands on OnePlus a little bit more aggressively, that's when things did go south. And then we kind of settled out a little bit, and now we're going south even more. But Carl Pei did release his own company called Nothing, where he has full control over these phones. So that's one thing to look forward to. Although they're not doing the best right now due to their launch with the Nothing phone. Forgot what it's called. Is it the 3? I think we're on the 4. I don't know what it is. Wasn't the best received phone this year due to spec problems, which is the opposite of what OnePlus typically does. And then we got some new quirky brands coming soon, you know, with the clicks, you know, backed by Mr. Mobile, who's been an Android enthusiast for longer than I've been alive. Just kidding, I'm pretty old. I think even if we do lose OnePlus, there's going to be brands that are going to fill the void. And I think it's just a matter of time for Nothing to come into the States. Obviously, they've been having a very slow approach, but their name has been getting out very, very widely, even showing up on the Android show, being shouted out by Google directly. So hopefully there are brands that will be able to fill the void. I also hope that the Motorola Signature series comes out into the States. That way we do have another flagship contender in the States. Motorola being very popular already with the Razr revival. I think there's things that we can see. I don't think it's the end of the world. Hopefully it's not. Obviously, the less competition, the less the big guys have to work, and that is the most concerning part. But until then, just wanted to kind of cover the news and let me know what you guys think. Like, how do you guys feel about this? What do you guys think ultimately is going to happen? Do you think OnePlus is in a unique position where they can kind of come back from this? Or do you think, judging by history with Oppo, do you think they're just going to just axe it? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Until then, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Hope you guys have a great one. Peace.